Well, good morning, you wonderful mother truckers from a very grey, dull UK. And yeah, we're heading for war, aren't we? I mean, that's what the media are telling you. That's what the government's telling you. That's what all the left-wing bots are telling you, all the left waffer. Because if you notice, all of a sudden, we're plastic patriots because we're now saying we don't want to fight for the government. Oh, right, so we're good enough to pay your taxes. And you were good enough to be suppressed and oppressed and called everything under the sun and called racists and everything else until the shit hits the fan, and then all of a sudden we have to be patriotic. It doesn't work like that. But you can see this concerted effort, this concerted push that Russia's this, Russia's that. We're going to do investigations into Russian interference in the elections, even though Labour won the last one. You see, we've got to create this perceived enemy because fear allows them to do and say things and make us accept things that we normally wouldn't. Except, of course, this time it's not working, is it? Because the vast majority of people are going, no, we're not going to fight for you. Yeah, well, you're plastic patriots. You're not very patriotic, are you? Funny how patriotism is fine when you want us to die. Funny that. Very funny that. My biggest concern, and I'm sure other people share this concern, is you've got all this rhetoric, all this talk, all this saber rattling, but there is no tangible evidence to prove their claim. Do we look like we're under attack or under threat from Russia? Has Russia done anything to us? Well, the submarines under the water doing stuff. Oh, there is, yeah. Can you prove that? Well, of course we can't because it's top secret. So there's stuff we can't see, and we've just got to take your word for it that it's happening. I mean, on the flip side, we're doing the same. But that's okay. Well, there's that Russian spy ship that's floating in international waters, by the way, floating in the North Sea, and it's a threat. And so the E3 sentries, which we put up to protect Ukraine, which are constantly doing ELENS flights, electronic intelligence flights, up and down, yeah, it's peering into Russia, and we're using all our intelligence networks and our satellites to spy on Russia. But that doesn't count. Okay, now the new one is we've got some footage here of a drone by an airport, right? Russian. How the hell can you tell that? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? No, it just looks like a drone that you could be flying yourself. Yeah, but they're deliberately trying to impede on the airports in Europe. Really? Really? So a drone with a light off in the distance filmed across an airport. That's Russian. You can tell that's straight. Oh, it's definitely Russian. It's Russian. Oh, Russian this, Russia that, Russia this, Russia that. And the vast majority of us are sitting there going, I don't see anything. But this should be a worry to everyone. And the reason for this is we're being told this. We are being psychologically prepared for it because something is going to happen. And it's going to be an horrendous terrorist attack that's going to be a false flag, and it's going to be blamed on the Russians. Some idiot's going to go and blow himself up somewhere in London or in Birmingham and kill thousands of people or hundreds of people. It's going to be the worst thing you've ever seen. Going to be a rather large explosion somewhere. And immediately, well, within a couple of days, first they'll find, as they always do, a couple of perfectly intact passports, which will be Russian. And they'll create this illusion that it was the Russians. The Russians have done this. And they'll ramp it up, and the sheeple will go, Russians, enemy, let's go to war. Because that's what they'll do. Because people believe it, because they've been psychologically told for weeks upon weeks that the Russians are the big threat. So when something happens, all they have to do is say, Russia. It's Russia. Look, told you, we've been telling you for weeks. Now the Russians are a big threat. Look what they've gone and done. Come on then, to war, everyone. And the masses, the sheeple, I'm sorry, but they'll probably fall for it. It's a bit like everybody falling for the narrative on the Bondi Beach stuff, isn't it? See how easy it is to create the narrative and how easy and quickly it is for people to believe that narrative. Doesn't take long, does it? The only reason that they're doing what they're doing, the only reason they keep pushing this story is they're preparing us for something that's going to happen, and then they're going to blame the Russians. And then that'll be it then. We'll all be off to war. All I'll say is, if that happens, as somebody said, well, you'll have no choice, you'll be conscripted. No, I do have a choice. I'll refuse to be conscripted, and you can throw me in prison, because I'm not going to fight for you. I'm not going to fight a phony war so the rich people can sacrifice us at the altar. And as I've always said, the big difference here is it's going to be like World War II. It really isn't, because we've got nuclear weapons now, and we only need people to get desperate. Or we want to escalate it a little bit more, and it'll be one of ours that accidentally gets set off or something like that. We've all seen the James Bond films, you know, where they set off a nuclear bomb and blame it on the Russians. Well, there's not enough. Yeah, attack on a British ship, blamed on the Russians. This is all they need to do. And before you know it, we're in a war. You can always go all the way back through history. I mean, the Vietnam War, the Gulf of Tonkin incident, yeah, which dragged America into the war. Clearly a false flag. Yeah, the Vietnamese attacked an American destroyer. Let's go to war. Because that's all it takes. And it won't be hard for them to fabricate the evidence. It won't be hard for them to find some nicely paid crisis actor to pretend they're Russian. It's not going to take much. So be prepared, because you're being prepped psychologically for the most horrendous thing to happen. And off to war we go. In any case, let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Be interested to see what we get here. If you want to talk to me in confidence, or you've got a comment, you keep putting it up, it keeps getting deleted by the AI bot. Across the bottom of the screen now, gobstertalks@yahoo.com. Give me an email there. If you like what I'm doing and agree with what I'm saying, just hit that subscribe button and ding the bell and select it all. This helps the algorithm. The more subscribers you get, the more that YouTube go, oh, perhaps this guy is saying something that people want to listen to. And they push the video out. That's the same for liking, that's the same for sharing, and obviously the commenting bit. The more interaction I get, and the more likes I get, the more they think, this needs to be pushed. Ways to support the channel down below, as well as there are links to my other social media. And I am done. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I shall look forward to catching you in the very next one.
Yoka Artiansa Remix.